Okay, after some technical difficulties, I am back. And yeah, so as I was saying, when it comes to live streaming, you're never truly ready. You just have to go out in there and do it. And then go ahead and pull that up. Okay, here we go. And so don't let that hesitation of, oh, am I ready? Don't let that stop you, because you're never going to be ready. And the more you try to prepare, the more you're going to get nervous. And so you have to have that balance of, okay, how much preparation am I really going to get myself all worried about this? And at some point along the way, you just have to say, okay, screw it, I'm doing it. As you can see, I have not showered today. I still have the messed up hair and everything. And here I am. And I've pulled off this little mini marathon in just over 24 hours. So it was kind of a short notice. The calendar snuck up on me, and I'm just like, ah. Well, to be fair, all the RT interviews kind of threw me off, and I lost track of everything. And anyway, you get the idea. So, okay. And so I guess we'll just go ahead and go on to the next part, since that one was pretty easy. Okay, here we go. Don't be afraid to step up your game. All right, I'll give you a little story with this one. It was back in 2015. I was still very much recovering from an injury, and I could walk, but I couldn't run. And so I'm just sitting here by the computer, pretty much just getting involved in politics because there's not much else to do. And this is when Bernie started his campaign. And so I'd get into a lot of arguments and everything, and I just type away like a typical troll and everything. Then all of a sudden I decided, you know what? Maybe I should download a picture editing program, and that way I can create memes. And so ever since then, starting in 2015 and 2016, I became a little meme maker, just making these silly memes, adding these captions to it. And the memes became pretty famous. I just decided, you know what, typing is kind of boring. I'll step up my game, do the editing myself, because before this, I was just stealing the memes and reposting them. This time I'm like, you know what, I'm going to make something new. And that's when I decided, hey, I became a meme maker from there. And that continued for another couple years. And then in just last year, I decided, you know what, here I am making memes. Why don't I step up my game and start making videos? And this was quite a bit of a jump, because I had to go onto YouTube and look at these tutorials on how to make movies in this free program and this free program, and figuring out which free program is better than the other free programs. And anyway, so it was, but those tutorials were really easy. And then of course, like I said, it's like you're never truly ready. You just have to do it. And so you'll see when you watch my first few videos on YouTube, they're pretty basic. And then around the third lesson 3, which was 7 ways to unsheep yourself, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna try to step up my game. I'm going to instead of using this free movie maker, I'm going to see what else is out there as far as movie making programs to add more features, because with the free version, I couldn't add memes into the videos. It was just you record and you can edit the recording and you can add other movies into it, but you couldn't add a picture overlay or a video overlay of what you're doing. And so I just found a cheap software for like $50. It's called Filmora, just pretty basic, and able to add, memes and video overlays to the videos. And that's when you'll notice that there's a quite a big quality jump from lesson 3, lesson 4, lesson 5, and lesson 6. And anyway, so kind of recently I bought myself a cheap little microphone to go with it, because the laptop microphone is not that great. And so I mean, here I am with a laptop, just a cheap little $20 headphone set, a $50 microphone, and a $50 software, and we can make some pretty decent movies out of these. And so that's the big thing is don't be afraid to step up your game. You know, a lot of times we're creatures of habit. We just do whatever we always do, sometimes without even thinking. And we don't stop and think, I wonder how I can reach more people. One of the things that really inspired me to do my lesson series is I really got tired of explaining the basics to people over and over and over again. And so I wanted to give my friends a way so that they can explain to their not so educated friends. So that's like, you know what, to save you the hassle of having to explain the basics over and over again, such as why you shouldn't trust the mainstream media or why you shouldn't trust this tactic or this tactic, I'm just going to make it easier for them, make these video lessons so that my friends can share with their friends, so that, to save them the whole hassle. And so, and that's one of the things that inspired my lesson series. The other thing that's inspired my lesson series is that I started to see my own family becoming brainwashed, and I'm like, okay, I've got to do something. And so, now, to be fair, not all of my family is in that brainwashed category, but I mean, how many of us have family members that are, you know, either in the Fox News trap or the CNN trap or the Democracy Now! Trap or those kinds of traps? And so that's another big thing that's inspired me. And okay, let's see if this is all working. Oh, this is interesting. I can't even see my own broadcast. Okay, let's try this. Okay. Anyway, so and then what inspired me to do the little you know, I am a Russian bot campaign, I started to see in the narratives that they're trying, not only are they trying to mess with our memories, but they're trying to repaint everyone as Russian trolls. And so I thought, okay, how can we demonstrate that we are not Russian, and how do we demonstrate that we're not bots? And so I'm like, well, let me see how many friends I can gather, and let's do a little collage, you know, saying, hey, I'm this person with, you know, from this place. And the reason the location is important so that they know that, hey, you know, we're not from Russia or anything. We're not connected to the Kremlin or anything. And I think my computer just froze here. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, very good. And okay, sorry, just there we go. Done. Okay, so that was what inspired me to do the Russian bot series. And then one thing that led to another. Ethan had a great idea that we'd have an intro clip, and then Mary had a great idea that we would put in the captions kind of like either who they are or what they are fighting for, or both. It turned out that of the 20 people I gathered, 4 of them were convention delegates and 1 of them is running for Congress. So that was, hey, that's even better. And so, and then of course, one thing that's another, we decided to put a message at the end. And then Amy had a great second take with the Russian accent, so we decided to put that at the end. And so, you know, when you decide to step up your game, it's almost like things guide you from one step to the next step and the next step. And most of the times when you do these kinds of great projects, you don't see the end from the beginning. You usually just go one step at a time, and another step shows up, another step shows up, and you're just kind of going along the path, and it just keeps leading you somewhere. And next thing you know, something happens from it. That is usually how it works. Now, sometimes you do have a vision, you know, of the end from the beginning, such as you know, some of my lessons, I have vision of the end before I begin. It's like I write I finish the it's almost like I finish the script in my head before I start piecing it together. And meanwhile, by the way, my next lesson, I'll go ahead and give you a little preview of it, is going to be, here it is. Lesson 8, why the oligarchy manufactured the Russian narrative. This is going to go over the many reasons. There's probably going to be about 11 to 16 different reasons of why the oligarchy is manufacturing this Russian narrative. Probably the biggest of these reasons, it's hard to say which one is the biggest, but probably the biggest is to sell the Syria invasion and the Iran invasion to the American public, which is a whole other long story. Okay, and let's see. All right, let's see. Do we have any questions? It looks like I just covered all of my material very fast. I tend to just cut straight to the point. My videos usually aren't that long. Okay, let's see. And so I want to encourage all the people who haven't done live streams before to, you just have to do it, and don't be afraid to stepping up your game. This is mostly just to give some courage to people out there who, are just maybe a little bit afraid. I kind of had to get myself into it, and then I decided, you know what, screw it. I don't have time for the shower. I'm going on here anyway. And so, yeah, hopefully I don't mess this up. And okay, anyway, so hopefully this will give you some, hopefully this will help you to step up your game. That's my hope with this broadcast, because it really paid off for me to step up my game. And I challenge you to, step up your game, use your voices, because there's going to be someone out there who will benefit from your message out there and your stepping up your game. So that's my message to you. There's going to be someone out there that's going to be blessed from you stepping up your game. All right. See you next time.